The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah.
Well, hello, champions. Listen, today we're going on a journey. We're going to pay homage to my beautiful mother, Mary Battle. And the reason we're doing this is because, listen, we are all standing on the shoulders of giants. You're going to be my daughter, Shantice, my good friend, mama's best friend, Joyce, little Joy, my grandson. And we're just going to pay homage to my mother. She was such a beautiful person. Or let me rephrase that. Is such a beautiful person because she's still living now. And I want all of us to understand the importance of doing what? Honoring our loved ones, honoring the legacy, the shoulders that we stand upon right now. So without further ado, welcome to this legacy journey today, and let's go meet and let's go keep alive the memory of my beautiful mother, Mary Battle. Let's go. Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Brother Rick. You're singing Wealth Coach, and tonight we got the Queen, and she will be talking directly to you tonight. So Queen, I need you to look at America as we talk. You can't see me. I'm just asking the Queen some questions. And I recommend that all of you guys get together with the Queen in your life, the matriarch in your life, and find out what they went through and let them just tell it, okay? So we're doing this tonight so that our children and our children's children will know about their heritage. And I just want to encourage you all to do the same thing, okay? When you get an opportunity, then just take advantage of it because we don't know how long any of us are going to be around. And my mother's already outlived three of us, three of her 7 children. However, we're just glad to be in your presence tonight, Mama. So I'm just going to ask you some questions, and then you tell us a little bit about what your plight has been in America since you got here, and talk to them, Mama, because they listening to you. So let me ask you the first question I want to ask you, Mama. You was born in 1932, is that right?
That's right.
1932, so you just made this year 88 this year. Okay, all right. So being born in 1932, the first question I want to ask you is, you told me the story about how you guys, when you were 5 years old and you were in Mississippi, and your grandmother got sick, and your mother had to work in her stead, and you guys were having a hard time getting out of Mississippi, basically on what was the equivalent of a plantation. Can you tell us what the experience was like?
Well, the experience was my mother had to work in my grandmother's place because grandma was sick, and but she wrote Dad in to send us our train fare to come back home to Bessemer, Alabama. And finally, he would send it, but the other people that Mama worked for would take it and keep it. So Mama was, being a praying woman that she was, she gave another address, and we walked through the swamps every evening when she finished working for these people. And finally, it came in. The train fare came in, and one night, shortly after that, my uncle took us on to the train station we were on a wagon, and there was a mule there pulling us, and it was so bright outside. It was late at night. The moon was so bright you could read the headlines on the newspaper. And we went straight from that shack where grandmother lived and went to the train station, got on the train and went back to Bessemer, Alabama. I was 5, and I said, Lord, if you let us get from down here, I will never come back. And I have never been back to Mississippi. Maybe nicer now and whatever, but I didn't like it anyway. I didn't like the way we were treated. So that was the end of me from Mississippi.
So you're saying you were 5 years old, and Grandmama Lonnie went in.
Grandma Rachel. That was Grandma's name. My mother's name was Lonnie.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Your grandma.
My grandmother.
Okay.
So you're saying that Grandmama Lonnie came and worked instead of Grandma Rachel?
She had to do. They told her she had to work for them.
Okay, or what?
I don't know if they gave any orders or not, but she was just gonna have to. She was gonna have to work for them. I don't know if they were gonna punish her some kind of way if she didn't do it, because they were intimidating themselves, intimidating people to have you do what they wanted you to do. So I don't know if they would have whipped her if she didn't want to do it, but she had to do it until she did it,
Okay.
so we could get from down there and get back to Alabama where my father was.
Okay. So you all were in Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
and Grandmama Lonnie, your mother,
Mm-hmm.
was working on behalf of Great Grandmama Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Great Grandmama Rachel, you're saying, had fallen sick.
Yes.
So her daughter Lonnie, my grandmother, your mother,
Mm-hmm.
decided to work in her stead, and was trying to get off of the plantation, because basically it was a plantation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she was trying to get off of the plantation, and every time somebody would send enough money for you guys to leave, that money would get intercepted by the people that you were working.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. And
That's
then,
true.
so are you saying that you guys had to escape? And did you tell me that
Yes,
you guys
we
escaped?
did have to escape. We left by night while they were asleep, and made it to the train station. And
But how did you get the money?
well, the address that my mom gave my dad to send the money to finally came to that person's house, and we went through the swamps every night, walked through the swamp to go to this lady's house to see if the money came. And after we went there 3 or 4 days, the money came, and we left Mississippi.
So you walked through the swamps. How dangerous is that?
Very dangerous, but I, being 5 years old, I really didn't know too much about wild animals or what could have been there. I could hear all kind of sounds and stuff with animals making sounds and all, but it was something we had to do. So it was my mother and my sister and me, and we had to go to this lady's house to finally get the train fare to go back home.
Wow. Okay. So y'all was walking through the woods like Friday the 13th.
It was a road, gushy, where if it rained, it made gushes in the road. And that's what we did. We walked through the swamps to go to this lady's house.
And God was so good, you was able to get the money from the lady
Yes.
and get on the train and basically get off the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that landed you in Bessemer, Alabama, where you grew up at, correct?
Yes.
All right. So what was it like growing up in Bessemer, Alabama?
To me, it was okay. Being a child, I didn't think we were poor. We had shoes, clothes, and everything to wear. And I went to school. I went to kindergarten when I was 5 in a one-room shack. And from kindergarten on to first grade, all my teachers were very nice. First grade on through to 10th grade. It was nice.
And
it was enjoyable.
And did you have restrooms inside of the house or outside?
Oh no, we had outhouses, and there was
Can
no
you explain
lights.
that to these kids? They don't know what an outhouse is. What is that?
It's like a box made thing where the inside of it is a toilet, so something cut out for like a commode inside. All of it's wood, and whatever you had to do, that's what you did.
Mm-hmm. Was it common that the people didn't even have tissue?
Oh no, they maybe rub newspaper or something like that together. We didn't have tissue. We never heard of paper towels.
Really?
Nope.
Really?
Not at all.
Wow. And so what was it segregated, or did you have to what happened when you have to ride the streetcars?
It was segregated. It would be the sign said colored here, white up here, and it would maybe one white person sitting there with 15 black people standing up behind the color sign, and the bus driver or streetcar driver wouldn't even move that sign where that one white person was sitting, would even make room for the black people that were standing up, and they had to stand up until they reached their destination.
And that was just normal.
It was normal, because if you were going to certain areas, you had to ride the streetcar to get there. So we had black guys with cars that started doing taxi driving. So then we stopped riding the streetcar and rode the taxis downtown.
Okay, good. That's right. So it was a little.
When we got downtown, you couldn't go in the dime store like Kresge's and 5 and dime store. You couldn't sit down at the counter and eat. If you wanted a hot dog, you had to stand off someplace else in line, not where they were sitting, not where the whites were sitting. Stand someplace else, and they give you the hot dog.
So tell us a little bit about Grandma Lonnie. You talked about how she used to be really generous to people and what she used to do for people when they would come by, walking by trying to find work. Can you talk a little bit about her spirit and what kind of attitude she had?
She had a great spirit. Men that was in need of something, they knew that if they followed the streetcar line, they were going to run into a black community somewhere, and they were afraid to stop in a white community to ask if you need some wood cut or mow your lawn and stuff like that. They were afraid to do that, so they just walked the streetcar line, and finally they would come to different black neighborhoods, so they would be dirty, and my mom would give them a pair of my daddy's overalls, and she washed their coat clothes on a rubber and put them up to get dry. When they got almost dry, now these men would cut wood or shovel some coal into the coal house, and the clothes get almost dry, and they put them back on and go on down the road. And my mama didn't use gloves to wash them, and she never had any kind of disease or anything on her hands. And we don't know where these men came from, but they were looking for something to eat, and they were looking for a place to sleep. So nobody never slept around our house, but my mother would feed them. Sometimes the cornbread would be cold, but it was such good cornbread it tasted okay being cold. And she made homemade biscuits, so I put a little peanut butter and jelly on that one and give it to them. But they were grateful, and they would go on down the road to find somebody else to give them something.
Wow. Grandma Lonnie, huh? We got to take a 3-second station break. Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma Lonnie.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. So Grandmama was very generous, and you've always been a very generous person. And I know we've had people to grow up in our houses that weren't necessarily our brothers and sisters. Would you say that part of that is maybe just a heritage that you got from Grandma?
I think so. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that. Had my mama not practiced that, I wouldn't know about that. And she didn't boast about it after she did it. I just know she did it, and I saw her do it, and I put it in my mind. That's what you do to help people.
Talk a little bit about you leaving Bessemer, Alabama. You were how old when you left Bessemer, Alabama?
17 years old.
17 years old. And at that particular time, was Donnie and Tommy already born, our brothers?
Yes.
Okay. So Donnie and Tommy were born by the time you were 17 years old. So you were a teenage mother.
Yes.
Leaving from Bessemer, Alabama. And this is around 1949. You're 17, correct?
Donnie was born in 50, so it was 50.
So he was about 18 then. Thereabout.
Yeah, well, I had a birthday. I made 18 after I left home. I went to the state of the state of Washington, Tacoma, Washington. That's where I went, and I picked string beans for a living.
So you picked string beans for a living. This is around 1950, and you're in Tacoma, Washington. Okay. And how much did you earn?
$3.
$3 how often?
A day. $3 a day.
$3 a day to take care of 2 children.
2 children, and with my sister, but basically the 2 children and myself.
Okay. So where'd you get the spirit of being able to survive?
From my dad. He was a survivor. My dad worked in the ore mines, and they used to wear those look like a helmet. They had carbolic in here that they lighted up so they could see how the entrance into the ore mines and how to work in those in the premises of the ore mine. But he did that on an everyday basis until one Friday he finished his work, and he was a janitor at the church, and he went up and cleaned the church up. And that Sunday he said he didn't feel well, so he stayed home, and about 11 o'clock and everything, he passed away.
So he's a working man too.
He was a working man.
Good work ethic.
He took care of his family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now you're 18 years old. You're in Tacoma, Washington. What happens next?
Well, we stayed there for a little while I was picking the string beans, and we went to this big church, and my sister put in a request for me to sing. But they had a young man, but he wasn't that young, but they had him. He was from Alabama, and he was already singing. And they told me that since you can sing, you have to come to 4 rehearsals before you can sing in the choir. But they said, we're going to let you come in now, you know. So I played piano and I sang, and a lot of the soldiers from in the Tacoma area, that was the audience, just a lot of soldiers. But everybody was so respectful. But times were hard for us, my sister and me, and I think she was expecting her daughter Gwen at the time. But we stayed there for a while.
Your sister Leonie,
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Leonie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we left Washington and went to California. We went to San Francisco, and her husband, he was deployed from Washington and to Korea, and we never heard anything else from him. He came up missing in action, and we never.
Auntie Leona's husband?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And my
you remember his name?
Varnell Johnson. Mm-hmm.
So Auntie Leona was married to Varnell Johnson, and he went to the service and never came home.
Never.
In the Korean War?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Then they had a daughter, because she was pregnant at the time, and the daughter's name was Gwen, and I talk to her quite often. She's in California.
Speak up for us too, as loud as you can. I know you got a soft voice. So Gwen, our cousin Gwen, is still in California as we speak. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Praise the Lord for cousin Gwen, and that's in your California roots.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then you moved. What year did you come to Chicago, where you lived most of your life?
Well, when I left California, I went back to Alabama and stayed for maybe 2 years, maybe 2 years at the most. And then I came to Chicago, and that was in 1954, I think it was.
So when you first got to Chicago, when did you first start playing for churches? And
I started playing piano when I was 10 years old, but I wasn't, I was too young to play at a church. But I was 10 because I always wanted to play the piano, because in the school we had a lunchroom, and when there was no food being served, the benches were placed on top of the table, and with them being like that, I would sit at the table and I would just move my hands in the directions that I see people doing it on the piano. Mm-hmm. And the cook said, "You gonna play a piano, huh, Williams?" I said, "Yes, I am." So when I was 10 years old, I was taking piano lessons. The neighbors paid, I think it was 50 cents a lesson, and they said, "We're gonna pay for your lesson so you can play the piano." But it was too slow. I wanted to play then. I didn't want to go through, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that. And I told my mom, I said, "I don't want to do that." I said, because when I hit the wrong key, she comes in and hits me on my fingers with a pencil. And I said to myself, and I really want to hit her back, because I knew better than that. So Mama told the neighbors that I didn't want to do it anymore. So she said to me, "Here's what you do. You pray and ask the Lord to show you what to do on the piano." And that same night, that very night, I was awakened and went to the piano and put my fingers on the keyboard. I didn't know it was middle C, and it showed me all the parts that went with that particular chord, and the rest of it's history. I played for about 35 years. I played for different churches, and the choirs always liked me. A lot of times I didn't get along with the pastor, but the choirs liked me, and they didn't hire me because I could really play a piano. But it was a gift from God, so I hung on to that.
They hired you because you had them pipes.
Yeah, I could sing.
But
I didn't know I could sing like that. Even though they told me I could sing like that.
Yeah, 'cause she could sing. I'm telling you, she could sing.
She was dope.
Yeah, she could sing.
She sang at Aretha Franklin Church, wasn't
Did she? Okay.
it? From the C.L. Franklin.
Okay, she could sing. And Play that piano. Play that piano. Which one of y'all play the piano?
Me.
You the one to play the piano. Play that piano. She can sing.
I
She can sing.
don't play it
I'm
like she did.
God gave her a beautiful voice.
Yeah, strong.
Beautiful. Yes. It's like, whoa. I remember the first time I heard her sing. Like, whoa. She can sing.
She come in and shut it down.
Yeah.
She used to lead the choir.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd start singing. I mean, we go to a Presbyterian church, and them old tight butt cheek folks start shouting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she can sing.
It's,
God gave her.
I tell you, everybody get up and start there. I remember one time our choir went to sing at a church, and a couple of people jumped through the wall. I ain't lying. It was a little storefront church, little show. The walls are so thin. Somebody's like, thank you, Jesus. Woo! Straight into the wall.
Wow. Okay. She had lit that up. Lit it up. That's good.
Marvelous is the name of Jesus. Holy is his name. Oh, and righteous and worthy is his name. Oh, glorious is his name. And I feel his presence in this place. His spirit has control. Can you feel his warm embrace and all the joy within your soul? Glorious is his name. And I feel his presence in this place. His spirit has control. Can you feel his warm embrace and all the joy within your soul? Glorious is his name. Oh, glorious is his name. Come on, just remember about grandma.
I know that she loves playing piano. I love to watch her play it because it sounds super beautiful, the music, and it's like a powerful song in the Lord's name.
You wrote that poem. That was so beautiful. It just did my heart so good, because we need help when our loved ones, when we're missing somebody. And I can always think about that. It always make me smile, man. What about you, Shantice, a.k.a. Petty? What you remember about the woman you look so much like and act so much like?
So many things that I'll never forget. But the one that means the most to me is her being a living example of keeping God first and not compromising the order of keeping him first and then taking good care of yourself next, so that I am here to share my life with the ones that I love, and vice versa, them able to share their lives with me. But I'm standing just as one of her grandchildren that all feel that they have such a unique, special place in her heart, in her life, and even here is her being appointed as our guardian angel. We all felt so special. How she was able to do that, I just don't know. I mean, I only have 2 kids and no grandkids. I just being able to equally spread her love amongst us, even though, yes, I know she definitely had a different kind of special love for my cousin Red. So he was definitely the favorite, she would never say, but but she still equally treated us all with great amount of respect and love. and guiding us in a godly way. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So like Joey said too, her gift of song, it still sings in my soul. I can still hear her voice ringing in my ears. And I would say, Mama, sing me this song, and she would sing it, then she would say, now you sing it, then she would go, okay, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't have asked you to sing it. Maybe I shouldn't have asked you to sing it. But
The thing that I love the most is this whole idea of God told Abraham that he said, listen, he said, when Abraham had Levi, he paid tithes for Levi. But Levi was not Abraham's child. Levi was Abraham's grandchild. But that's not how the Bible refers to him. He said he was yet in his loins. He was Levi's father. So you my son, you're my son. You know, it doesn't matter about the fact that you're Shantice's child, and it doesn't matter about the fact that you have another father below me, but I'm still your father. And Mama was your mother, even though that's your mother. And I want us to all understand that. And then we can see that there's no difference to God about a child and a grandchild. It's just your children. These are all my Father's children. And once we understand that, then the camaraderie in the families, our forefathers understood that. You know, our folks, that's why Big Mama used to have the same, you didn't come in the crib and disrespect Big Mama. Because Big Mama had the same authority that, matter of fact, sometimes even more authority. So when nobody gonna argue with their Big Mama about how they took care of little man. Little man come in, you take care of him, I take care of him, we all take care of him at the same time. And when I say take care of him, whatever he needed, all right? If he needed some love, we give him some love. If he needed some tap, 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 we give him some tap, tap, tap. You know, okay? Ain't that right? Grandmama used to get everybody, right? Just sit there and throw shoes around the corner and all that sort of thing. Had that bionic arm and all that, shoot them all the way around the corner. So, Joy, you are the product of my mother and her mother and my father and their fathers and that you've never even met. So I just want you to know that we love you, son. And the reason that we love you and the reason that your life is set up so good is because of where you're standing right now today. Queen Joyce, you're my mother's best friend. And we love you so much because you treat us so good, going to pick her up all the time. I know you can probably tell us, you probably could write a book from those meetings that you all had. You going to pick her up all the time. But we love you so much because you are, I don't even know how to describe how much I love you, how we respect you and appreciate you, and the way that you just reached out to her. So can you tell me, just what's the first thing coming to your mind when you think about Mama?
Her voice. She could play that piano, she could make that piano dance. And she was always honest. She was truthful. She was straightforward. She didn't pull no punches. You know, and we got along extremely well. Extremely well. So, I missed her. Yeah, I missed her. But, God said for her to come, so she had to go. But we spent a lot of time together. We spent a lot of time together. So we had some good times too, because we used to clown around and stuff too. But we had some good times.
Wow. The song she sung the most, like even make the Presbyterian shout. All right, that's what she sang. He already done what he said he gonna do. She said, God has done so much for me. What she say? He's opened doors that I could not see. Told me to keep on trusting him. And I know his word is true. 'Cause he's already done everything he said he would do. She say what?
I called him.
He heard
and
he heard me.
then he gave me.
And then he gave me a peace of mind.
He's my shepherd.
He's my shepherd.
He's my guide.
He's my guide.
And he's with me.
And he's with me all the time. I don't worry.
I don't fret.
I don't fret.
God, I said,
God has never left me yet.
I'm gonna keep
on trusting.
Cause his
Word is true.
He's already
Done what he said he would do. Well, America, he already done what he said he's gonna do. Y'all be
Your
blessed.
life and mine.
Say it now. Say it now. Okay, you guys be blessed in the city. Be blessed in the field. We love you. You be encouraged. And don't take no prisoners tonight. Get together with your folks, man. Love them hard while you can. All right, while the blood is running warm in your veins. We love you guys. We're checking out. And remember that God is with you. God be with you. God bless you. God keep you. And thank God. And we love you, Mama. God bless you, baby. All right. Love you all. You guys have a phenomenal evening.
Thank you.
He already done
Already
what he
done.
said he gonna do.
Yes.
So Lord, we salute you today, Mama. We looking up because your name is down here, but we're looking up because we know that that's where you are. And so we thank you. We salute you. We praise God for your life. We're just so happy today. Not happy that your body is not here with us, but we're very happy that you got a different kind of body where you don't feel any more pain, you don't feel any more, nothing's wrong with your knees, you don't need no wheelchair, you don't need nothing now. Now it's a howdy, 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 and a never goodbye. And we know that we're going to see you again in peace because we know if the earthly house of this, the earthen house of this tabernacle were dissolved, that we got another one made with hands. And we know that you can't come back to us, but we know we come to you. So we just want to say thank you for your amazing life, for your electrifying life, for the light that you brought into the world. Help us to carry your spirit around this world. Help us to get to business. Help us to love some people. Help us to bless some folks. Help us to be a blessing. We feel your amazing love in the atmosphere, and we promise you, baby, we're going to carry your legacy on. We love you, and thank God for you. And we're about to get right back to work. We just came here today to say happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mama. Happy birthday to you. We'll see you soon, baby. We'll see you soon. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming today. Appreciate you.
Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, how prove him all in all, just to reign
You better say that, woman.
upon his promise, just to know the same love.
All right, champions, listen, I appreciate you hanging out with us and learning things about my beautiful mother and seeing the amazing legacy that's still alive with her today. And I want you all to do the same things. Listen, tell your children, tell your grandchildren, make them aware of the beautiful things that your people have done for you, the roads that have been paved for you, and the shoulders that you stand on. Keep your legacy alive, keep your legacy alive. And I really appreciate you hanging out with us today to learn about the legacy of my beautiful mother. I pray nothing but grace, joy, mercy, and peace into your life, and that you will have a long posterity, that you'll be the person that lights the fire, that gets the thing going. All right, remember, Stellar is as Stellar does.